There are moments in life that shatter the mundane and open your eyes to truths you've long ignored. This hour isn't just about hearing words, it's about igniting something within you that you might not even realize has been dormant. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, looking out over the expanse of everything you've ever wanted to accomplish. What holds you back from stepping forward? Is it fear, doubt, or the weight of uncertainty? In this hour, we will tackle those barriers head on, peeling back the layers of confusion and stagnation that have held you in place. Clarity is one of the most profound gifts you can offer yourself. Without it, life becomes a tangled web of indecision and frustration, where each step forward feels more like stumbling blindly than purposeful progress. The power of clarity lies in its ability to transform confusion into direction, chaos into order, and stagnation into momentum. It is not a passive gift bestowed by chance or luck. It is something you must actively seek, cultivate, and refine. The pursuit of clarity requires you to confront hard truths about yourself and your circumstances. It demands introspection, honesty, and the willingness to let go of the illusions and distractions that keep you tethered to mediocrity. When you lack clarity, your energy dissipates into endless what-ifs, second-guessing, and self-doubt. You find yourself living reactively, driven by external pressures and fleeting impulses rather than a deep sense of purpose. Each day becomes a repetition of the last, and the goals you once cherished begin to feel distant, even unattainable. This state of ambiguity is not merely frustrating, it is corrosive. It erodes your confidence, strains your relationships, and diminishes your capacity to embrace the opportunities that come your way. Without clarity, life feels heavy, burdened by the weight of unmade decisions and unmet potential. Gaining clarity starts with asking yourself the hard questions. What do you truly want? What values guide your decisions? Are you living in alignment with those values, or have you allowed the noise of the world to drown out your inner voice? These questions are uncomfortable because they strip away the comforting layers of excuses and distractions that shield you from confronting your reality. But it is only by wrestling with these questions, by shining a light into the corners of your mind you'd rather ignore, that clarity begins to emerge. It is not an instant revelation, but a processa, gradual unfolding of insight and understanding. Clarity requires you to let go of the false narratives you've been telling yourself. Perhaps you've convinced yourself that you're not ready, that the timing isn't right, or that the risks are too great. These stories are comforting because they absolve you of the responsibility to act, but they are also traps, keeping you confined within the walls of your own making. To achieve clarity, you must challenge these narratives and replace them with truths rooted in courage and accountability. You must recognize that the perfect moment will never come, that action precedes readiness, and that growth often feels uncomfortable but is always worth pursuing. The pursuit of clarity is not about eliminating all uncertainty or mapping out every step of your journey. It is about identifying the direction that resonates with your deepest aspirations and committing to it with unwavering determination. It is about understanding your why, the reason behind your goals and choices, and allowing that why to guide you through the inevitable challenges and setbacks. Clarity doesn't mean having all the answers. It means having enough certainty to take the next step and trusting that the path will reveal itself as you move forward. Clarity is also about simplifying. In a world saturated with information, opinions, and options, it is easy to become overwhelmed. The more you try to do, the less effective you become. True clarity involves cutting through the noise and focusing on what truly matters. It means saying no to distractions, even when they are tempting, and yes to the pursuits that align with your values and goals. This kind of focus requires discipline and discernment, but it is liberating. It frees you from the tyranny of trying to do everything and allows you to do the right things well. One of the most powerful aspects of clarity is its ability to create momentum. When you know what you want and why you want it, taking action becomes not just easier, but almost inevitable. Each step forward reinforces your sense of purpose and strengthens your resolve. This momentum builds confidence, which in turn fuels further action. It is a virtuous cycle that transforms the inertia of indecision into the forward motion of progress. And as you move closer to your goals, the clarity of your vision sharpens, illuminating the path ahead even more clearly. Clarity is not a destination, but a practice. It requires regular reflection and adjustment as you grow and your circumstances evolve. The clarity you achieve today might not serve you a year from now, and that's okay. The key is to remain open, adaptable, and committed to the ongoing process of self-discovery. This process is not always comfortable, but it is profoundly rewarding. Each moment of clarity brings with it a sense of alignment, a feeling that you are living in harmony with your purpose rather than drifting aimlessly through life. Clarity is about empowerment. It gives you the tools to navigate life with confidence, resilience, and intentionality. It enables you to face challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and learning. It transforms the unknown from a source of fear into a realm of possibility. And it reminds you that while you cannot control everything, you have the power to choose your direction and shape your destiny. This is the power of clarity, a power that is within your reach if you are willing to seek it. Chaos is an unavoidable part of life. It surrounds us, infiltrates our minds, and disrupts our plans. It's the unexpected phone call that turns your world upside down, the loss you didn't see coming, the dreams that slip away because you weren't ready to seize them. Chaos is raw, relentless, and indifferent to your desires. Yet it is also where opportunity resides. It is within chaos that we are forced to confront the limitations of our understanding, to adapt, and ultimately to grow. The question isn't whether chaos will commit will. The question is whether you will let it consume you or if you will find the courage to transform it into something meaningful. Chaos represents the unknown, the unpredictable, and the unmanageable. It's the antithesis of order, the fragile construct we build to make sense of the world. But order alone is not enough. If you cling too tightly to order, refusing to face the chaos lurking at the edges of your life, you stagnate. Growth requires venturing into the unknown, confronting what you fear, and finding a way to integrate it into your understanding. This isn't an easy task. It demands bravery, resilience, and a willingness to face the discomfort of uncertainty. But it is the only path to transformation. The chaos in your life might feel overwhelming. It might seem like an insurmountable force, crushing you under its weight. But you are not powerless. You have the ability to impose order on chaos, to carve out a space where you can breathe, think, and act. This begins with acknowledging the chaos for what it is, an inevitable part of existence. Denying it only gives it more power. By facing it head on, you take the first step toward reclaiming control. You start to see the patterns within the chaos, the opportunities hidden amidst the turmoil, and the lessons it has to offer. Facing chaos requires you to let go of the illusion of certainty. We often cling to plans, routines, and expectations because they make us feel safe, but life rarely unfolds as neatly as we'd like. The unexpected happens, and our carefully constructed order collapses. This is not a failure. It is life. The goal is not to eliminate chaos. It cannot be done, but to develop the strength and flexibility to navigate it. You do this by cultivating a mindset that is open to change, by building skills that prepare you for the unpredictable, and by grounding yourself in a sense of purpose that can guide you through the storm. One of the most important tools for confronting chaos is perspective. Chaos feels overwhelming when you see it as a threat to your stability, as something that disrupts your plans and undermines your efforts. But what if you viewed it differently? What if chaos wasn't just a source of stress and fear, but also a source of possibility? Every challenge contains an opportunity for growth. Every disruption forces you to adapt, to think creatively, and to become stronger. When you shift your perspective, chaos stops being something to dread and becomes something to embrace. It becomes the catalyst for your evolution. To bring order to chaos, you must take responsibility for your role in it. This is not about blaming yourself for circumstances beyond your control, but about acknowledging the areas where you can make a difference. Chaos often feels so overwhelming because we focus on the things we cannot change instead of the things we can. By identifying what is within your power and taking action, you begin to create a sense of agency. This might mean setting boundaries, seeking support, or simply taking the first small step toward a solution. Each action, no matter how small, is a declaration of your intention to reclaim order from the chaos. As you confront chaos, you will encounter resistance, not just from the world around you, but from within yourself. Fear, doubt, and insecurity will rise to the surface, tempting you to retreat back into the safety of denial. But these feelings are not your enemies. They are signals guiding you toward the areas where growth is most needed. By leaning into the discomfort, by exploring the edges of your understanding, you expand your capacity to deal with the unpredictable. You develop resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger from setbacks, and the confidence to face whatever comes next. The process of overcoming chaos is not linear. There will be setbacks, moments when you feel like the chaos is winning, but these moments are not the end of the story. They are opportunities to recommit to your purpose, to learn from your mistakes, and to keep moving forward. Progress is not about perfection. It is about persistence. Each time you confront chaos and emerge on the other side, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling whatever life throws your way. You build trust in your ability to navigate the unknown, and that trust becomes a foundation for future growth. Chaos is not something to be feared or avoided. It is an integral part of the human experience, a force that pushes us out of our comfort zones and compels us to evolve. By embracing chaos, by seeing it as a challenge rather than a threat, you unlock your potential to create something extraordinary. You discover strength you didn't know you had, clarity you didn't know you needed, and purpose that propels you forward. Chaos may be inevitable, but so is your ability to rise above it. And when you do, you will find that the order you create is not just a return to stability, but a transformation into something greater. Truth is one of the most powerful and elusive forces in human existence. It has the capacity to liberate us, to shatter illusions and strip away falsehoods that keep us trapped in mediocrity and denial. Yet at the same time, truth can be deeply unsettling. It is not always comfortable, nor does it yield easily to our desires or expectations. Confronting the truth requires courage because it challenges the narratives we build to protect ourselves from pain, failure, and disappointment. But without truth, there can be no genuine progress, no real understanding, and no lasting sense of fulfillment. The first step in seeking truth is to acknowledge how often we avoid it. It's tempting to live in a world constructed from half-truths and convenient lies because they spare us from confronting the harsh realities of our lives. Perhaps you tell yourself that you're fine, even though deep down you feel unfulfilled. Maybe you convince yourself that your problems are someone else's fault, absolving yourself of the responsibility to change. These lies may provide temporary relief, but they exact a heavy toll. They keep you stuck, repeating the same patterns and making the same mistakes, all while the truth waits patiently for you to face it. The truth is not a weapon to be wielded against others, but a tool for self-discovery and growth. It begins with looking inward, with asking yourself the hard questions you've been avoiding. Are you living in alignment with your values? Are your actions consistent with your goals? Are you being honest about what you want and what you're willing to do to achieve it? These questions are not easy to answer, but they are essential. They force you to confront the gap between who you are and who you want to be, between where you are and where you could be. This confrontation can be painful, but it is also profoundly liberating. When you start to embrace the truth, you begin to see the world and yourself with greater clarity. You start to recognize the patterns and habits that hold you back, the relationships that drain you, and the fears that keep you from taking meaningful action. This clarity is not always pleasant. It may reveal that you've been settling for less than you deserve, that you've been avoiding responsibility, or that you've been holding on to something that no longer serves you. But this discomfort is a sign that you're on the right path. It means you're growing, evolving, and moving closer to the life you were meant to live. Truth is not just about identifying what is wrong, it's also about recognizing what is possible. It illuminates the path forward, showing you where to focus your energy and how to align your actions with your purpose. This process requires discipline and humility. It requires you to admit when you're wrong, to learn from your mistakes, and to be open to new perspectives. It's not about achieving perfection, but about striving for authenticity, living in a way that is true to your values, your strengths, and your vision for the future. The journey toward truth is not one you take alone. It is deeply intertwined with your relationships and the way you engage with the world around you. Being truthful means being honest with others, even when it's difficult. It means having the courage to say what you mean and mean what you say, to set boundaries and stand up for what you believe in. It also means being willing to listen, to seek understanding, and to approach others with empathy and respect. Truth is not a weapon to tear others down, but a bridge that connects us to deeper, more meaningful connections. There will be times when truth feels like a burden, a weight that is too heavy to bear. But it is in these moments that truth reveals its transformative power. It forces you to confront the things you've been avoiding, to take responsibility for your life, and to make the changes necessary for growth. This is not an easy process, but it is a necessary one. The alternative is to remain stuck in a cycle of avoidance and denial, never fully realizing your potential or experiencing the richness of a life lived authentically. Embracing truth also means accepting uncertainty. The truth is not always clear-cut or absolute. It is often complex and multifaceted. It requires you to navigate the gray areas, to hold conflicting ideas in tension, and to be willing to adapt as new information emerges. This can be uncomfortable, but it is also what makes truth so powerful. It keeps you grounded in reality while opening you up to possibility. It anchors you in what is while inviting you to imagine what could be. Truth is a choice. It's a decision to face reality, to take responsibility for your life, and to pursue growth and meaning even when it's difficult. It's a commitment to living authentically, to aligning your actions with your values, and to striving for a life of purpose and integrity. Truth may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. It is the foundation of trust, the source of courage, and the key to unlocking your potential. By embracing truth, you open the door to a life that is not only more honest, but also more fulfilling, more connected, and more meaningful. Responsibility is the cornerstone of a meaningful life. It's the act of shouldering the weight of your existence and accepting that your actions, choices, and words ripple outward, shaping not only your own destiny, but also the lives of those around you. Responsibility is not a burden, it is a privilege. It is what gives your life substance and significance. Without it, you drift aimlessly, unmoored from purpose, lost in the chaos of apathy and indecision. But with it, you become a force of stability and creation, someone who builds rather than destroys, who lifts rather than drags down. The idea of responsibility is often misunderstood. It's not about being perfect or always knowing the right answer. It's not about taking on more than you can handle or sacrificing yourself to the point of burnout. Responsibility is about recognizing your power to make choices and the impact of those choices. It's about understanding that you are not a passive participant in life, subject to the whims of fate, but an active creator of your reality. You are capable of great good and great harm, and it is your responsibility to choose wisely. Taking responsibility begins with acknowledging your role in your own life. It's easy to blame others for your struggles, point to circumstances, other people, or even luck as the reason for your difficulties. But this mindset keeps you trapped in victimhood. It robs you of agency and denies you the opportunity to grow. When you take responsibility, you reclaim your power. You accept that while you cannot control everything, you can control how you respond. You can learn, adapt, and take action. This shift in perspective is not easy, but it is transformative. It moves you from a place of helplessness to one of empowerment. Responsibility is not something that happens all at once. It's a process. It starts small with the commitments you make to yourself and others. It might mean taking responsibility for your health, your finances, or your relationships. It might mean stepping up at work or in your community. Each time you fulfill a responsibility, no matter how small, you build trust in yourself. You prove to yourself that you are capable and reliable, and this confidence grows over time. Responsibility is cumulative. The more you take on, the stronger you become, and the more you realize you can handle. Responsibility also extends beyond the individual. It's not just about taking care of yourself, but about contributing to the world around you. This could mean supporting your family, helping a friend in need, or working toward a cause you believe in. When you take responsibility for something greater than yourself, you find a sense of purpose that is deeply fulfilling. It's not always easy. It often requires sacrifice and effort. But it is through these challenges that you discover the depth of your strength and the breadth of your potential. Responsibility connects you to others and reminds you that your life has meaning beyond your own desires and concerns. One of the most profound aspects of responsibility is its ability to provide structure in a chaotic world. Life is unpredictable, filled with uncertainty and challenges. But when you take responsibility, you create a sense of order. You set goals, make plans, and take deliberate actions. This doesn't mean you can control everything, far from it, but it does mean that you can navigate the chaos with purpose. Responsibility gives you a framework for decision-making and a sense of direction. It helps you focus on what truly matters and avoid being swept away by distractions or trivial concerns. Taking responsibility also means accepting the consequences of your actions. This is perhaps the hardest part, as it requires humility and honesty. When you make a mistake, it's tempting to deflect blame or make excuses, but owning your mistakes is an essential part of growth. It's how you learn and improve. Responsibility is not about being infallible. It's about being accountable. It's about having the courage to admit when you're wrong and the determination to make things right. This level of honesty is not only good for your own development, but also builds trust and respect in your relationships. Responsibility is deeply tied to freedom. At first glance, this may seem contradictory. Responsibility can feel like a limitation, a set of obligations that restrict your choices. But in reality, it is the foundation of true freedom. When you take responsibility for your life, you free yourself from the constraints of excuses, blame, and inaction. You gain the freedom to shape your destiny, to pursue your goals, and to live authentically. Responsibility empowers you to make decisions that align with your values and aspirations, rather than being at the mercy of external forces. It's important to recognize that responsibility is not always glamorous or rewarding in the moment. It often involves hard work, delayed gratification, and perseverance. But it is through this effort that you build a life of substance and meaning. The rewards of responsibility are not always immediate, but they are profound. They come in the form of self-respect, deep connections with others, and the satisfaction of knowing that you are living a life of integrity. Responsibility is a choice. It's a decision to engage fully with life, to embrace its challenges and opportunities, and to commit to becoming the best version of yourself. It's not about perfection or achieving some ideal standard. It's about progress, about striving to do better and be better each day. Responsibility is what makes life worth living. It's what gives your actions meaning and your existence purpose. By taking responsibility, you not only improve your own life, but also contribute to the betterment of the world around you. It is, in every sense, the path to a meaningful and fulfilling life. Respect is one of the fundamental pillars of human interaction. It serves as the glue that holds relationships together, whether they are personal, professional, or societal. Without respect, trust erodes, communication breaks down, and connection becomes shallow or non-existent. Respect is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is what allows people to coexist, to collaborate, and to grow together. Yet, respect is not given automatically, nor is it something you can demand. It must be earned, cultivated, and reciprocated. Respect requires effort, consistency, and authenticity. Earning respect begins with self-respect. If you do not value yourself, it is difficult, if not impossible, to inspire respect from others. Self-respect is not about arrogance or self-importance. It is about recognizing your worth and treating yourself accordingly. It means setting boundaries, standing up for what you believe in, and refusing to tolerate mistreatment. It also means holding yourself accountable, striving for personal growth, and maintaining integrity in your actions. When you respect yourself, you send a powerful message to others that you are someone who is worthy of respect. Self-respect also involves taking responsibility for your actions and decisions. It means owning your mistakes, learning from them, and doing the hard work necessary to improve. People respect those who are honest about their shortcomings and willing to grow. They admire the courage it takes to confront your flaws and the discipline it requires to change. This is not an easy process, but it is essential. Without self-respect, you risk seeking validation from others, basing your sense of worth on external approval rather than internal strength. True respect begins within. Respect for others is equally important. It is the recognition of their inherent worth, dignity, and humanity. Respect does not mean agreeing with everyone or condoning harmful behavior. It means treating people with kindness, fairness, and consideration, even when you disagree. It means listening to understand, not just to respond, and being willing to see the world through someone else's perspective. Respect requires empathy, patience, and humility. It challenges you to rise above your biases and prejudices, to treat others as you would want to be treated. Respect is expressed through your actions, words, and attitude. It is not enough to say you respect someone. You must show it. This can be as simple as listening attentively when someone speaks, acknowledging their contributions, or being mindful of their boundaries. It also means being honest and transparent, even when it is difficult. Respect does not shy away from the truth. It embraces it with compassion and understanding. When you respect someone, you honor their right to be themselves, to make their own choices, and to grow at their own pace. One of the most challenging aspects of respect is extending it to those who may not seem to deserve it. This does not mean condoning bad behavior or excusing harm. It means recognizing that everyone is on a journey, that people are shaped by their experiences, and that no one is beyond redemption. This perspective does not require you to tolerate abuse or neglect your own boundaries, but it does ask you to approach others with an open heart and a willingness to understand. Respect is not just about the other person. It is about who you choose to be in the face of adversity. Respect is also deeply tied to trust. When you respect someone, you build a foundation of trust that allows the relationship to flourish. Trust is fragile, and it must be nurtured through consistency, honesty, and reliability. When you break trust, you damage respect, and repairing it can be a long and difficult process. This is why integrity is so important. Respect requires you to be true to your word, to follow through on your commitments, and to act in alignment with your values. It demands that you be the kind of person others can rely on, even in challenging times. Respect is not static. It evolves as relationships deepen and grow. It is reinforced through shared experiences, mutual understanding, and acts of kindness. But it can also be eroded by neglect, dishonesty, or selfishness. This is why respect must be nurtured and maintained. It is not something you can take for granted or assume will always be there. It requires ongoing effort, attention, and care. When you prioritize respect, you create an environment where trust, communication, and connection can thrive. Life is filled with uncertainty, and the unknown can be both terrifying and exhilarating. It is in the face of this uncertainty that courage becomes essential. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to move forward despite it. It is the willingness to confront what you do not know, to face the challenges that lie ahead, and to step into the vast, uncharted territories of your own potential. Without courage, you remain confined, limited by the boundaries of your comfort zone and the illusions of safety it provides. But with courage, you unlock the ability to grow, to create, and to transform. The first step toward courage is acknowledging fear. Fear is a natural and necessary part of life. It alerts you to danger, it pushes you to prepare, and it reminds you of what is at stake. But fear, left unchecked, can paralyze you. It can convince you to avoid risks, to settle for less, and to abandon your dreams. Courage does not deny fear. It embraces it as a signal that you are standing at the edge of something significant. It asks you to feel the fear, to understand it, and then to act in spite of it. Courage requires you to take responsibility for your life. It demands that you stop blaming external circumstances, stop waiting for someone else to rescue you, and stop hiding behind excuses. It is about owning your choices, even when they are difficult, and committing to the path you believe in. Courage is not reckless or impulsive. It is deliberate. It comes from a place of strength, built on a foundation of self-awareness and purpose. It is the realization that you have the power to shape your destiny, even in the face of uncertainty and adversity. To be courageous, you must be willing to fail. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of the process. It is through failure that you learn, adapt, and grow. Courage is what allows you to take the risks necessary for meaningful achievement, knowing full well that you may stumble along the way. It is the ability to get back up after a fall, to try again with renewed determination, and to continue moving forward. Courage does not guarantee success, but it ensures progress. It transforms failure from an endpoint into a stepping stone. Courage also involves standing up for what you believe in, even when it is unpopular or uncomfortable. It is the ability to speak your truth, to defend your values, and to advocate for what is right. This is not an easy task. It often comes with resistance, criticism, and even rejection. But true courage is not about seeking approval or avoiding conflict. It is about staying true to yourself. It is about aligning your actions with your principles, regardless of the external pressures you may face. Courage is the strength to hold firm in your convictions while remaining open to dialogue and growth. One of the most powerful expressions of courage is vulnerability. To be vulnerable is to open yourself up to the possibility of rejection, judgment, or failure. It is to allow yourself to be seen, truly seen, in all your humanity. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is a profound act of strength. It takes courage to show your authentic self, to share your fears and dreams, and to connect with others on a deeper level. Vulnerability is the foundation of trust, intimacy, and meaningful relationships. It is through vulnerability that you create bonds that are real and enduring. Courage is not a one-time act. It is a habit. It is something you cultivate through practice, by consistently choosing to face your fears and challenges. It can start small, with everyday acts of bravery, speaking up in a meeting, reaching out to a friend, or trying something new. Each act of courage builds on the last, creating a ripple effect that strengthens your resolve. Over time, courage becomes a part of who you are. It becomes the lens through which you approach life, transforming obstacles into opportunities and doubts into determination. The world needs courage now more than ever. It needs people who are willing to confront the difficult truths, to take bold action, and to inspire others to do the same. Courage is contagious. When you act with bravery, you give others permission to do the same. You show them what is possible, and you remind them of their own strength. Courage is a gift you give not only to yourself, but to everyone around you. It is a catalyst for change, a force that drives progress and innovation. Courage is about becoming the person you are meant to be. It is about breaking free from the limitations of fear and stepping into your full potential. It is about living a life that is authentic, purposeful, and impactful. Courage is not something you are born with. It is something you choose moment by moment, decision by decision. It is the willingness to face the unknown, to take risks, and to embrace the challenges that come your way. Courage is what allows you to create a life that is not only worth living, but worth celebrating. Respect is about valuing yourself and others in equal measure. It is about creating a balance where your needs and boundaries are honored, and you do the same for those around you. Respect fosters a sense of belonging, cooperation, and harmony. It allows you to build relationships that are meaningful, fulfilling, and resilient. In a world that often feels divided and disconnected, respect is a powerful force for unity and understanding. It reminds us of our shared humanity and our capacity to support, uplift, and inspire one another. Respect is not just a value, it is a practice. It is something you embody every day, in every interaction, and in every choice you make. It is the foundation of a life well lived, one that is rich in connection, purpose, and meaning. By cultivating respect for yourself, for others, and for the world around you, you create a legacy of integrity and compassion. You become someone who not only earns respect, but also inspires it in others. And in doing so, you contribute to a world that is kinder, stronger, and more connected. Respect is not just something you give or receive, it is something you live. Life is filled with uncertainty, and the unknown can be both terrifying and exhilarating. It is in the face of this uncertainty that courage becomes essential. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to move forward despite it. It is the willingness to confront what you do not know, to face the challenges that lie ahead, and to step into the vast uncharted territories of your own potential. Without courage, you remain confined, limited by the boundaries of your comfort zone and the illusions of safety it provides. But with courage, you unlock the ability to grow, to create, and to transform. The first step toward courage is acknowledging fear. Fear is a natural and necessary part of life. It alerts you to danger, it pushes you to prepare, and it reminds you of what is at stake. But fear, left unchecked, can paralyze you. It can convince you to avoid risks, to settle for less, and to abandon your dreams. Courage does not deny fear. It embraces it as a signal that you are standing at the edge of something significant. It asks you to feel the fear, to understand it, and then to act in spite of it. Courage requires you to take responsibility for your life. It demands that you stop blaming external circumstances, stop waiting for someone else to rescue you, and stop hiding behind excuses. It is about owning your choices, even when they are difficult, and committing to the path you believe in. Courage is not reckless or impulsive. It is deliberate. It comes from a place of strength, built on a foundation of self-awareness and purpose. It is the realization that you have the power to shape your destiny, even in the face of uncertainty and adversity. To be courageous, you must be willing to fail. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of the process. It is through failure that you learn, adapt, and grow. Courage is what allows you to take the risks necessary for meaningful achievement, knowing full well that you may stumble along the way. It is the ability to get back up after a fall, to try again with renewed determination, and to continue moving forward. Courage does not guarantee success, but it ensures progress. It transforms failure from an endpoint into a stepping stone. Courage also involves standing up for what you believe in, even when it is unpopular or uncomfortable. It is the ability to speak your truth, to defend your values, and to advocate for what is right. This is not an easy task. It often comes with resistance, criticism, and even rejection. But true courage is not about seeking approval or avoiding conflict. It is about staying true to yourself. It is about aligning your actions with your principles, regardless of the external pressures you may face. Courage is the strength to hold firm in your convictions while remaining open to dialogue and growth. One of the most powerful expressions of courage is vulnerability. To be vulnerable is to open yourself up to the possibility of rejection, judgment, or failure. It is to allow yourself to be seen, truly seen, in all your humanity. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is a profound act of strength. It takes courage to show your authentic self, to share your fears and dreams, and to connect with others on a deeper level. Vulnerability is the foundation of trust, intimacy, and meaningful relationships. It is through vulnerability that you create bonds that are real and enduring. Courage is not a one-time act. It is a habit. It is something you cultivate through practice by consistently choosing to face your fears and challenges. It can start small, with everyday acts of bravery, speaking up in a meeting, reaching out to a friend, or trying something new. Each act of courage builds on the last, creating a ripple effect that strengthens your resolve. Over time, courage becomes a part of who you are. It becomes the lens through which you approach life, transforming obstacles into opportunities and doubts into determination. The world needs courage now more than ever. It needs people who are willing to confront the difficult truths, to take bold action, and to inspire others to do the same. Courage is contagious. When you act with bravery, you give others permission to do the same. You show them what is possible, and you remind them of their own strength. Courage is a gift you give not only to yourself, but to everyone around you. It is a catalyst for change, a force that drives progress and innovation. Courage is about becoming the person you are meant to be. It is about breaking free from the limitations of fear and stepping into your full potential. It is about living a life that is authentic, purposeful, and impactful. Courage is not something you are born with. It is something you choose moment by moment, decision by decision. It is the willingness to face the unknown, to take risks, and to embrace the challenges that come your way. Courage is what allows you to create a life that is not only worth living, but worth celebrating.